by the Lord I bear in a world as cold as stone. Must I walk this path alone? Be with me now. Be with me now. Breath of heaven, hold me together. Be forever near me. Breath of heaven. Breath of heaven, lighten my darkness. Pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven. Do you wonder as you watch my face if a wiser one should have had my place? But I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong. Help me be. Help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together. Be forever near me. Breath of heaven. Breath of heaven, lighten my darkness. Pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together. Be forever near me. Breath of heaven. Breath of heaven, lighten my darkness. Pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven. Breath of heaven. Breath of heaven.
I can hear you all. Nancy, thank you. Did you all just take a breath of heaven? Yeah, that was beautiful. And I believe it's just a new technique as far as just my screen here. Our videos today, they're just a little, not actually flowing. And it could be bandwidth, it could be, we'll just call it a new technique. So regardless, the music was absolutely beautiful. So only love prevails. On this third Sunday of Advent, the attribute, if you haven't guessed, is love. Such a small little word with so many big meanings and misunderstandings and such deep, it's a deep feeling. it's again, it's hard to describe. Let's hear what Charles Fillmore, how he says it in The Revealing Word, one of my favorite little books of his. Love, the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family, all of the attributes of God. Love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony. The universe and everything in it, the great harmonizing principle known to mankind, humankind. Love is the great harmonizer and healer. Thank you, Charles. Myrtle Fillmore knew love. She lived love. She sent love letters through the mail, and came with them, what came with them in this harmonizing power that Charles is talking about is a vibration that we can feel when we read or hear songs like we just did, or we read certain passages. There is a vibrational quality. And there are some that I just resonate with so deeply. And this doesn't mean that they, like the poem by Howard Thurman wasn't, that brought me to my heart space. And that brings up feelings that we may try to push aside, but they're all part of love. It's just like, they're the same side. Deepak Chopra said years ago that a person who's born blind doesn't know the meaning of darkness because they've never experienced light. So how can we know and experience love without sorrow? Love without, sorry, I'm going to say the word hate. They're not two energies. If we know that there's one presence and one power, one harmonizing power, there's no dualism here. They're different sides of the same thing. We get to interpret them how we will. And we get to call up the greatest powers that help us to heal from those sorrows, from life as it happens. I talked last week about having these high ideals of life is supposed to be like the sitcoms. Life is supposed to be good and calm and abundant, and everything works out the way I prayed it to be. What is the deal? And we know that's not the way life is. Mother Nature, trees fall down, sometimes very in very inconvenient places. Hurricanes, well, you name it this year, and it's happened, floods and weird straight line winds and volcanic you name it, it's happened this year. And so do we get mad at Mother Nature? Well, if we build our house right next to a river or next to a volcano or below sea level, thank you very much, things are going to happen. Mother Nature is not predictable in that way. And so we're part of Mother Nature. We're part of this experience. So there's been a lot of studies about the energy of words, because words are powerful. We say that all the time. Thoughts are things. Our words have power. Our words have power, and power is one of our 12 powers that we talk about. So have you experienced a time when you read something or hear something and it just vibrates all the way through you? And you're like, yeah. Well, I've known that, and I've felt that, and just like all of you have, things that just speak to your heart. Well, Greg Braden he's been around a long time. He does some great research, and he blends science and spirituality just perfectly. Well, his new book, The Wisdom Codes, talks about this, and it's really laid out nicely, because it's like there's a wisdom code and then there's place for notes. So it's not this heavy scientifically based thing. It's based on a lot of different things and a wide range of materials. So it's not just Bible, it's not just Buddha, it's the Gospel of Thomas from the Nag Hammadi library that was discovered in 1945 in Egypt. There's beautiful things. One of those, in fact, that we're going to be talking about today is from the Nag Hammadi library. But he has it broken down, and so I'm just going to go through this. We're going to do love, the wisdom code for love, and see how this feels. You know, and it reminds me of when Myrtle Fillmore heard, "I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness." Ding, that was a wisdom code for her. And for us, how many of us have that on? I have a little crystal thing that I got at Unity Village that says that on there. It's on my dresser, you know? So it just hits the right chord, the right note within us. Let's see. Let me just read a couple of these in the table of contents, because he said, if you feel a need, if you have something that you're grappling with, or even if you're not, you just want some inspiration, you just go down the table of contents. And so part one, there's 4 wisdom codes for protection, fear in part 2, and loss, and strength, and love. And then there's power codes, and then parables, but those, you just go down there, oh, I need a little booster shot here, you know, after we get our COVID immunization. So, but he says first we get centered in our heart, how to use these. The first step is kind of like what I did in our meditation. It's heart math, I'm a certified heart math instructor, and have used this for years, and I've talked about it before. Silent Unity, we truly relied on heart math because of the raw human condition that we dealt with every day. And so it was really important to take care of those who are taking care of so many millions of people. So this one is called quick coherence technique. And you simply drop your attention to your heart space and slow your breathing a little. And that signals your body and your heart, particularly, that you feel relaxed and safe, and it's okay to turn inward. Real simple. It's not a long process. It takes me longer to read it than it does to do it. And you can practice right now, even just to breathe through your heart space. You can do this any time of the day. You don't have to even close your eyes. Coherence is when the heart and mind are in harmony. Remember, the harmonizing power of the universe is right within us. So to harmonize our head and heart, to calm down the chaotic thinking. You can sit at your desk, you can drive your car and do this. Then the next step is to activate a positive feeling from your heart center. Make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling, such as gratitude, appreciation, or care for someone or something in your life. The key to create this feeling is to surrender to it. embracing it as you allow it to radiate, as you allow it to radiate from your heart center to fill your entire being. This will optimize the harmony and coherence between your heart and your brain. And so that coherence between heart and brain. And so now hear this wisdom code number 15 for love. Now, some of these are kind of long. This one is just 2 lines, and then it boils down later to 1 line. In your coherence, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Now, as unity folk, that's a little jarring. It was when I first read it. That's from the Gospel of Thomas. So he says the use of this is a reminder that we harbor a force within us whose expression has the power to heal us, yet whose repression has the power to destroy us. And we know that. We know that. We know that when we can't forgive, or when we don't say what we mean, and it doesn't have to be in a harsh way, but when we're not being authentic with who we are and how we express, destroy might be a pretty strong word, but take a listen to your body. Where have we hidden things? So no, that didn't feel really good at first, but then when I surrendered to it, I was like, yikes. A little more responsibility, Gail, for what I am expressing and what I'm repressing. How'd that feel? So at the end of the chapter, he created in the affirmative and left the second line off. I guess he was thinking about all the unity people that he's been around all these years. If I bring forth what is within me, what I bring forth will save me. And save you from what is what you get. The brain gets to go, save you from what? We're trying to reroute these energies of the brain and bring harmony there. So you don't have to answer the question, because it's not a question, it's a statement. So we get to sit with it. The key to using the wisdom codes is to embrace this code with the focus of awareness, breath, and the feeling in the heart rather than the mind. That's really the key to your spiritual practices. We don't feel things in our mind. We feel them in our heart. We feel them in our gut. We feel them in our neck. We feel them in our body. We don't feel them in our head. Your computer doesn't feel it when you yell at it and throw it on the ground and step on it. It doesn't feel that, right? Our brains are computers in a sense, fueled with all kinds of hormones and all kinds of stuff, but we can train them. That's what spiritual practice is. So there's a few subtitles here. The Price of Love. And Rumi says this about love. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within you that you have built against it. Oh. Seek all the barriers within you that you have built against it. All the walls that we put up. The key point, and speaks to repression as stated in the wisdom codes, that's the point. Stated in that affirmation. In other words, we were born from and into love. We humans have a great capacity for love. It's a strong emotion and can move mountains. And when we experience great loss, it can feel like it crushes because we have that love, that other side. We can't feel love unless we've felt the whole range of love. So our job is to discover what in us is not like love. Relationship walls, emotional blocks, psychological dams that keep us from accessing our love. When we dissolve these barriers, love is all that remains. Makes us feel a little vulnerable, doesn't it? Prayer, meditation, and a wisdom code that you can feel deeply and repeat often helps us return always to love, helps us feel safe to love. Love as forgiveness. Braden begins this section with a quote from Ernest Holmes. Through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. That is what we must bring forth as we release the past. Braden talks about prisoners of war, from the Holocaust survivors, and all kinds of other horrors that have happened to human beings throughout the years, throughout the millennia. He explained how forgiveness indeed saved them from a life of suffering, as if they were still in the prison camp. Forgiveness is a very important aspect of love and can show us the true power of love that is within us. Remember, one presence and one power. This great power of love, this power that moves with grief, with forgiveness, all one. So he talks a little bit about distorted love and addiction. There are so many reasons why our ideas and behaviors about love are messed up and keep us from expressing the love that we are. From childhood, we get all kinds of messages that can leave us feeling like it's not safe to reveal our love to the world. Or maybe only reveal it here and there, but not there. We cleverly mask this primal capacity to love from those who we really want to show our love to. The distortion is not feeling safe is what causes our suffering. So we masterfully create behavior patterns that allow us to get through life with less pain, supposedly, and survive with our distorted thinking. What's really happening, though, is replacing one behavior for another. Even our addictions, Braden calls them repetitive patterns of pain. They include substance abuse, but are not always just substance abuse. They're masked with social withdrawal or too much work-related activity or putting a wall of all sorts between those and those we really are love and those we love, really love. Braden says the jewel is that the present in the abyss of addiction is that the consequences that are suffered, they don't happen overnight. They unfold gradually over a period of time. And in doing so, we're given ample opportunities to recognize and heal the underlying addiction. He says by personalizing Wisdom Code 15, we can give ourselves a powerful tool to heal, to bring forth our love. And so the point of mantras and prayers, and if I bring forth what is within me, what I bring forth will save me. If I bring forth what is within me, what I bring forth will save me. When we use this honest assessment of love as the power within us, the key then is to consider the object of our forgiveness from the objectivity, this is an important sentence, from the objectivity of the heart rather than the polarity of the brain. rather than the polarity of the brain, right brain, left brain, analytical, spiritual, one's, I never remember, let's say left is logic and right is whatever else. and but the object of our forgiveness, we look at that from the heart rather than the polarity of the brain. There's our harmonizing power of love. Words give us great comfort because they invoke or call forth, evoke. We don't invoke anything, it's already in us. We don't invoke, we don't do an invocation because Spirit's right here all the time within us and all around us, right? So we evoke our powers. We quicken our power of love. We quicken our power of faith. We quicken our power of joy. We quicken and we evoke and bring it forth. Draw forth what is already within us. Unity, we have our 12 powers, and that's kind of similar to the chakras, except they're harder because the chakras are like all right here and the powers are like everywhere. But they're really, really awesome to work with, and most of you probably already have over the years. Our outer world can conjure up so many fearful, untamed thoughts, old hurts, confusion, and our innate powers get covered up. But keep in mind, the cover is only a thin veil, an illusion. Given just a little opening of light, just a little crack in our armor allows true love to be expressed. We can lift the veil through prayer, meditation, and contemplation of readings such as the Wisdom Codes that vibrate the speed that matches our innate gifts and calls them forth. It vibrates at an energy level that calls it forth. During the rest of this upside down year and beyond, I invite you, my dear friends, to let the love that you truly are shine through and out into your life. Where you haven't let it before, find your way home. Find your way of expression, call it forth. Now, this doesn't mean suddenly becoming all gushy and demonstrative if that's not who you are. Introverts and extroverts are all still steeped in love. It means a deep inner abiding love for self, which we know is very, very important, and others that shows up whatever way it's needed. It simply means creating harmony between our heart and our head. If I bring forth what is within me, what I bring forth will save me. Only love prevails. And I love you. Namaste. Stacey's going to do our love offering for us.
We love you too, Reverend Gail. This is the time in our service to share of our financial gifts and tithes for this ministry. And if you're joining us today for the first time, let this service be our gift to you. We're glad you joined us today. There are several different ways you can contribute to Unity of Bay City. You can mail a check to us. You can use the donate button on our website, unityofbaycity.com, or you could set up an automatic payment through your own financial institution and make sure it gets to us regularly. Thank you for your continued support, and we are grateful for it. Please join me in stating the affirmation for our offering together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am enough. I have enough. There is enough. And now I'm going to sing a song that I hope you can join me with. And as you're singing, it's an easy song to sing, but I also have accompaniment from Marcia Morandi and piano. So I hope you'll be able to see that and also, or hear that. And also I hope you don't hear my dog singing along in the background. Love came down at Christmas. Love, oh lovely, love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Love came down at Christmas. Love, oh lovely, love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Love shall be our token. Love be yours and love be mine. Love to God to all of us. Love for plea and gift and sign. Love shall